Welcome back, bike farmers. It's time for another 20-minute tune-up. We got ourselves a Trek 820 here. Looks to be in really good shape. Just needs your basic cleaning and lube and touching some bolts and getting her back up to snuff. So here we go. Right out of the gates with this one, I'm noticing it wants a new saddle. So this will add a minute to my 20-minute tune-up. So I either have to make it a 19-minute tune-up or call it a, I don't know, right in the garbage with that old one. Cleaning, cleaning, cleaning. This bike is going to a friend's daughter. If I produce these videos in order, you will know that they showed up when I was tuning up that Trek 4300, and I promised it to them by 5 o'clock. It's 4 o'clock right now. Get this reflector brag. Okay, so now it could be a 20-minute tune-up. Disconnect the brakes. Pop the wheels off. And I guess spray it down. This is a light colored white bike. So I'm gonna hit it with the Dawn Power Wash. It's a degreaser. It's gonna do a little bit better job of cleaning. The furniture spray does a really good job of cleaning too, but if things are too greasy and the bike is white, sometimes it just kind of smears things around. I don't really remember where this bike came from, but it looks to just have the average amount of use. You know, it was ridden some, not a ton, and then stored in a nice garage somewhere. Attached garage. Never got too cold, never got too hot. Ridden around the neighborhood. A little bit of filth down in here. Could be kind of hard to get at. Down in the nether regions. Give the nether regions a good wipe. Just don't know where my T-handled Allen wrenches went. They've walked away. Walked off. That's what they say about tools. They walk off. Okay, so we're gonna spray a little one step in the shifter pods. They can just kind of flood things. I'm gonna spray the hinges of the brakes. So this style of shifter kind of has a top side mechanism and a bottom side. I'm gonna run through them a little bit. That spreads the lube, and well, the one step is kind of a lube and a cleaner. All right, I'm disconnecting all of the cables. Start with the rear brake cable on this bike for whatever reason, just because I grabbed it. Gravity is your friend. I'm just putting a little bit of tri-flow on each one of these, and then moving the housing over the cables. That spreads the lube around inside. And I always lube the cable guides underneath. Little dab will do ya. Little more will do you too. Lube all this. All right, put her back together. Over here on the filthy bench, I put the wheel in this way because I'm right-handed and it's easier to get at the hub from this side. A little bit of Dawn Power Wash. I get it at Costco. Comes in 3s. Well, 1 and 2 refills. Costco style. So yeah, I am working in a bike shop, so I do have bins full of parts, and been doing this a long time, so you know, things are established and I have that advantage. But the reality is, this is my basement. I live above my shop, and pretty cool setup in my hometown. This little shop, Gibbs Bike Shop, was founded in 1933. Just a guy fixing bikes in the barn out back, way back in the day. Old Excelsiors and Huffies, or not Huffies, Schwinn's, you know, that kind of thing. And I got my first bike here in about 1983-ish. My mom got her first bike here in 1953. I had a guy come in and say he got a bike here in the 40s. So a lot of history here. And I was able to reopen Gibbs Bike Shop after old man Gibb died in about 1990. And I reopened it in 2017. But all that's to say, you know, old man Gibb was a young whippersnapper back in 1933 and had himself an idea that he could, you know, restore some dandy horses for the townsfolk in the barn out back. And then history has been made. And then here I am in the basement now, living above that old barn. It's an old, what do you call it, cinder block foundation. And I'm fixing up the old dandy horses for the townsfolk now too. It's a good life. You gotta be good at it to make a living. But it's a good hobby anyway. I imagine most of my viewers are hobbyists or just interested in general. I do find it interesting. I watch a lot of channels that, you know, other craftsmen, luthiers, and, you know, those lawnmower guys that go and clean up lawns for people for free. But anybody who's got a good, you know, skill or trade, I find it really interesting to watch people work. And one day I was like, well, all these other people are doing it, why can't I? So hopefully that's why you're tuned in. I think the watch me work genre is a thing. I don't know if anybody's calling it that or what, but just getting started. This will be, I don't know, my 25th video, maybe, something like that. And, you know, hopefully someday I'm making some money on this channel. I could see myself doing it primarily, especially if I found a good employee in the shop. And I do other interesting things with bikes, like ride them in interesting places. And I just got a selfie stick that I'm going to try to figure out how to employ that while I'm on a bike ride. Got a little personal commitment to ride a bike every day for the next month. I think July 1st is tomorrow. It's a good month to decide to ride every day here in southern Wisconsin. There it is. I mean, the wheels are very straight. I kind of knew they would be. These are robust bicycles. You can get the wheels back on the bike. I didn't get any lube in that front brake cable. That's the tricky one. I kind of hold it straight down and then I let gravity come in to play and try to wick the lube down there with gravity. And then there's always this to contend with. I just kind of load the noodle up. There we go. Free as a bird. Slick as a whistle. Customer here. I'll be back. Lots of customers today. That's good. Yesterday was dead. I had like 2 customers all day. One of them bought a bike though, so. This morning was pretty quiet around here. I was getting a bunch of other stuff done. So I usually take these bottle cages off, but since this is a really small step-through bike, these bottle cages that come in from the side are the only ones that really work. And this one's already got one, so leave it on. So that little thing I did there was just to check to make sure that there's no friction in that brake line. These step-through bikes with a brake line that kind of loops down like that, the moisture likes to collect and you get extra rusty corrosion down in there. This bike, like I said, was likely stored in an attached garage and don't have such annoyances. Wiping, cleaning as we go. White bikes aren't so easy to show. Do 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 do. Okay. All this wiping on this white bike is gonna cut into my 20-minute tune-up goal. Pretty sure I already adjusted that rear brake up there without even thinking about it. Going with some one step on that chain for now. Probably just leave it. Spray the rest of it down. And grab a dirty rag, and that's how I clean a chain. That is cleaned and lubed. One way and then the other. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I wish I could put my YouTube studio further away from my furnace. You can probably hear it in the background. I've listened to some of my other videos and it's not too distracting, but it is hot and humid today, so that thing's been going with the AC. It's a loud one. All right, we're gonna shift into the middle. And we're in the low gear back here. And shift down to the high gear. And we got no rubbing. I cannot improve that front derailleur. But the cable is hitting the pedal as it goes around. And now the cable's getting caught in the crank. Maybe I should cut it. Just trim that bad boy. Ow! Just about cut my finger off. That'd have been cool to get on YouTube. Better get a lot of likes. A little bit of gore. Gore sells. It's the truth. The inconvenient truth that gore sells. Get this front brake going. Ooh, that one's really long too. I was just thinking, I'm like, I should probably use a cable cutter, not a diagonal cutter. That's all right, no harm, no foul. We got away with it. You know, they make a tool for that, but I found my little diagonal cutter first, side cutter, whatever you want to call it. Couldn't increase tension on the other side, so I'm going to decrease a little here. And these feel like they need to be sprayed. And they look like they need to be wiped. This bike's in good shape. My friend Libby's gonna get herself a good bike. Yeah, and I might get a subscriber out of it too. We'll see. Let's talk about what really matters. I hope she likes it. Maybe she'll even comment for us. Be like, that's my bike. A little bit of furniture polish for the last once over. I know the rear triangle's pretty well buffed. Did a lot of that before. Hit the wheels once or twice more. Don't forget the other side, the dark side of the bike. Give the nether regions a good wipe. Back of the left crank. Pedals. Kickstand. Maybe get at this hub a little bit. I want to give Libby a bike she can be proud of, you know. To cherish and hold till death do them part. I hope the bike dies before she does. I'm assuming her father is also watching. That's all right. He's known for his questionable comments as well. He's a very questionable character. Oh man, I don't know what I just did there, but very shiny. Cleaning, wiping. I'm glad she chose this bike. She was looking at another one that I also thought was a great bike, but it definitely needed a little more elbow grease, as they say. Just about finished up here. I think we're pretty close to 20 minutes on this one. I'm gonna say, you know, with these 20-minute tune-ups, anything under 30 is still in the 20s. So it's not like up to 20-minute tune-ups. It's in the 20s of minutes tune-ups. But I'm gonna have like a whole playlist of them, right? A separate section, 20-minute tune-ups. People can just crank through them. I might cheat sometimes too and fast forward through the wiping and the rambling. Okay, should we do the final check of the systems? Oh yeah, what I'm doing here is dropping a little bit of tri-flow in all of the bolt heads just to keep rust from forming in the future. Let's tighten that kickstand as well. I try to do it from this angle and fail often. Yeah, I don't do well with my left hand. So. Oh yeah, we were gonna put a longer kickstand on it. So that'll take longer than the 20 minutes. But I've already established, I got up to 29 minutes. And that's not runtime of the video either. It's like when you're on a bike ride, you have moving time and then total time. You know, because what if you come across a bald eagle and need to take a photo? I mean, you're gonna stop, right? Or are you so worried about people seeing that Strava that you just won't take a minute or a few seconds to grab that amazing photo of a bald eagle? Got the new kickstand here. I'm over here on the bench getting some grease for the threads. I should have grabbed my ratcheting 14 from the other room while I was there, but I didn't. I should just buy a set of ratcheting wrenches for this bench. Because it sure does make this easier. Yeah, somebody cut that kickstand. You don't really need to. I used to think you needed to cut kickstands too, and you just don't. You can bend them a little bit. I mean, I guess cutting them's a little bit cleaner, but you can bend them. It works just as good. Not a big deal, but don't bend them too much or they break. And don't tighten them down too much because they break. God, this bike shifts well. I love these old 7-speed drivetrains. They just work so well. All right, Custus interruptus. All right, I think we have a completed bike. I'm gonna put this one on the floor and do the final checks. All right, so I'm checking the handlebars here to make sure everything's straight. Front brake looks like it has moved a little bit. It's drifted a tad. Man, I just don't know what happened to those wrenches. What did I use them for? Where did they go? T-handled 5 is the one to use for that. Ah, found it. There's something going on with this front wheel. It wasn't seated properly or something. That's better. You know, that's why we do this final check, is just to make these last second tweaks. All right, headset feels good. Bottom bracket, Dunsky. All right, thanks, bike farmers. That's your latest 20-minute tune-up, the Trek 820 for Libby, who should be here in about a half hour to pick up her new bike. We'll see you next time. If you like this, want to see more content, please subscribe, like, and click that notification bell so you know when the next 20-minute tune-up is coming up. We'll see you next time. Thanks.